The U.S. government spends more money than Amazon and Walmart combined. Every single year, over $600 billion flow out of federal agencies and into the hands of businesses. The question is, why aren't you bidding? Most people think government contracts are only for defense giants or massive construction companies. But in reality, the biggest buyers in the country are looking for everything from paper clips to cybersecurity, janitorial services to software development, translation to dog walking. Yes, dog walking. If the government needs it, they're required by law to contract it out. And if you're not bidding, you're leaving money on the table. Let me break it down. Every time a federal agency wants to buy something over a certain dollar amount, they must post a public opportunity. These get listed on websites like sam.gov, the government's central contract platform. You don't need a PhD or military clearance to get started. You need a business name, a registration, and a strategy. Now here's the wild part. The U.S. government is the most reliable customer you will ever find. They pay on time, they pay well, and they renew often. But most entrepreneurs ignore this income stream. Why? Because they don't know it exists. Or they think it's too complicated. That mindset is costing people millions. Let's talk facts. There are contracts reserved specifically for small businesses. That's right, entire deals that billion-dollar companies aren't even allowed to touch. If you're a woman-owned business, a minority-owned business, veteran-owned, or located in a rural or underserved area, you can qualify for set-asides that give you a competitive edge. The government wants to buy from you, if you're ready. And here's what's even better. You don't have to invent something new. You can take what you already do, cleaning, coding, catering, graphic design, and offer that to the public sector. With the right knowledge, you can win your first contract faster than you think. Now, I know what you might be thinking. I'm just one person, or I don't have government contacts. Good news, you don't need them. Government contracting is designed to be fair. Opportunities are published publicly. Evaluation criteria are listed up front, and you can compete without having to know someone on the inside. It's one of the few playing fields where the rules are written in ink, not whispered behind closed doors. Still not convinced? Let me give you some examples. A woman in Georgia started a mobile notary service. She registered on sam.gov, bid on a contract to notarize documents for a government housing agency, and won. That one deal covered her living expenses for the entire year. A small landscaping business in Texas was struggling to find steady clients. They learned about micro-purchases, small contracts under $10,000 that don't require full bidding. After reaching out to local federal buildings, they landed recurring contracts to maintain government lawns and properties. Predictable work. On-time payments. No sales pitching required. And then there's the software engineer in California. Instead of chasing tech startups, he pivoted and started bidding on Department of Education contracts. He now builds secure applications for student systems and makes more than most engineers in Silicon Valley. This isn't theory, it's happening every day, but it only happens to those who take action. So how do you start? First, go to sam.gov and register your business. It's free. This is your gateway to the federal marketplace. Second, learn the basics of bidding. There are tons of free resources, YouTube tutorials, and even local government centers designed to help small businesses understand procurement. You don't have to be an expert overnight. You just have to start. Third, find your niche. Don't try to do everything. Focus on what you already do well and target agencies that need that service. Read past contracts. Study what others are charging and position yourself strategically. Fourth, network smart. Attend virtual matchmaking events. Join industry groups focused on government vendors. Build relationships not with politicians, but with contracting officers. These are the real gatekeepers. And guess what? They're required to respond to your inquiries. Finally, don't give up. Your first bid might be a miss. That's okay. The goal is to learn the language, build your capability statement, and keep improving. Persistence beats perfection in this game. Remember, government contracting is not a lottery, it's a system. And systems can be learned, mastered, and leveraged. You don't need special access. You don't need $1 million team. You need information, consistency, and a willingness to follow the rules better than the next person. There's over $600 billion waiting to be claimed. Some contracts are worth hundreds, some are worth millions, but all of them are awarded to people who took the time to learn how the game is played. So now I ask you again, why aren't you bidding? Because if you're not, someone else is. Money, it's going somewhere. Might as well be to you.